Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Hollywood Cine Mysteries, the channel where we explore the hidden facts, production stories, interesting details, and mysteries behind classic movies from Hollywood's golden era. Before we begin today's journey into another unforgettable Western classic, make sure to subscribe to our channel, like this video, share it with other classic movie lovers, and don't forget to leave your valuable comment. Today, we are going back to the world of classic American Western cinema with a film that represents the adventure, danger, and atmosphere of 1950s cowboy movies. The movie we are exploring today is Ambush at Tomahawk Gap, released in 1953. This film is remembered by many classic Western fans for its mysterious ghost town setting, dangerous journey, and a group of characters whose past mistakes continue to follow them. It is a movie filled with tension, survival, betrayal, and the traditional Western elements that audiences loved during that era. Ambush at Tomahawk Gap was released in 1953 by Columbia Pictures, one of the major Hollywood studios of that period. During the early 1950s, Western films were extremely popular, and audiences enjoyed stories featuring dangerous landscapes, hidden treasures, revenge, and characters searching for a second chance. The film was directed by Fred F. Sears, a filmmaker who became known for making many fast-paced B-movies across different genres, including westerns, science fiction, crime, and adventure films. Sears had a reputation for creating entertaining movies with strong action elements despite limited production resources. One interesting fact about Ambush at Tomahawk Gap is its unique combination of a treasure hunt story and a survival western. Instead of focusing only on traditional cowboy conflicts, the movie adds mystery through the search for hidden money buried in an abandoned mining town. The story concept follows four men who are released from the Yuma Territorial Prison. After gaining their freedom, they travel toward Tomahawk Gap, a deserted mining ghost town where a large amount of stolen money was supposedly hidden by a former partner. The idea of a ghost town became one of the most attractive elements of the film. In many Western movies of that time, abandoned towns represented danger, loneliness, and secrets from the past. Tomahawk Gap becomes more than just a location. It becomes a symbol of forgotten dreams and unfinished business. One of the most interesting characters in the movie is McCord. Unlike the others, McCord is not simply a criminal searching for stolen money. His character brings another emotional layer to the story because he was wrongfully convicted and ended up in prison despite being innocent. This difference creates tension between the characters. The film explores themes of trust, justice, and whether people with troubled pasts can change their future. The main cast includes several notable actors from the classic Hollywood era. John Hodiak plays one of the leading roles, bringing experience and seriousness to the Western atmosphere. Hodiak was already recognized for performances in dramatic films before appearing in this Western adventure. John Derek, who later became famous not only as an actor but also as a filmmaker and photographer, also appears in the movie. During the 1950s, Derek was building his reputation in Hollywood and became known for his appearances in adventure and Western films. David Bryan and Ray Teal are also part of the cast, adding strong supporting performances that help create the feeling of a dangerous journey through the American frontier. Another memorable aspect of the film is its atmosphere. The abandoned mining town, empty streets, and isolated surroundings create a feeling of suspense. The characters are not only fighting against enemies, but also against the harsh environment around them. The movie represents a time when Western films often focused on men facing difficult choices in extreme situations. The heroes were not always perfect, and many stories showed characters deal with their mistakes, regrets, and attempts to find redemption. Ambush at Tomahawk Gap also reflects the style of 1950s Western filmmaking, where practical locations, horseback action, and dramatic confrontations were important parts of the experience. The film's title itself creates curiosity. The word ambush suggests danger and surprise, while Tomahawk Gap sounds like a remote and mysterious place where anything could happen. The title perfectly matches the movie's atmosphere of uncertainty and hidden threats. One of the biggest attractions of this film is the conflict that develops when the group reaches the abandoned town. Their search for hidden treasure becomes much more dangerous than they expected, and their survival depends on their ability to work together. As the men continue their search, they face unexpected challenges and discover that the past cannot easily be buried. The hidden money becomes not only a prize but also a reason for conflict and danger. The movie combines classic Western themes, such as treasure hunting, betrayal, survival, and revenge. These elements helped make Western films one of the most popular genres in Hollywood during the 1950s. Even today, Ambush at Tomahawk Gap remains an interesting film for fans who enjoy discovering lesser-known Western classics. It may not be as famous as some other Western movies from the same era, but it carries a unique charm of old Hollywood storytelling. The film shows how filmmakers of that period created exciting adventures with strong characters and memorable locations. For a classic Western enthusiast, it is a fascinating example of the style and creativity of 1950 cinema. We are continuing our journey into the 1953 Western classic Ambush at Tomahawk Gap, a film that represents the traditional spirit of old Hollywood Western filmmaking. One of the most interesting aspects of this movie is the way it combines different Western elements into one story. It is not only about cowboys, guns, and revenge. The film also focuses on trust, survival, and the difficult choices people make when they are searching for a new beginning. During the 1950s, Western movies were among the most successful films in Hollywood. Audiences were fascinated by stories about the American frontier, where characters had to survive in dangerous landscapes and face challenges with courage. Ambush at Tomahawk Gap follows this classic formula, but adds a darker and more mysterious atmosphere. Instead of showing a busy Western town full of people, the movie takes place around a deserted mining settlement. This empty location creates a feeling of isolation and danger. The abandoned town of Tomahawk Gap is one of the film's strongest visual elements. Ghost towns were common locations in Western movies because they represented the consequences of greed, conflict, and forgotten dreams. In this movie, the ghost town becomes the center of a dangerous search. The characters believe that hidden money is waiting for them, but they soon discover that finding treasure is not as simple as they imagined. A major theme of the film is a question of whether people can escape their past. The four men who travel to Tomahawk Gap each carry their own history. Their previous actions have shaped their lives, and the journey forces them to confront their mistakes. The character McCord is especially important because he represents the idea of injustice and redemption. Unlike the other men, he is not simply motivated by greed. His past is connected with a wrongful conviction, making his journey more personal. This gives the movie a deeper emotional element. It shows that in the world of Western films, the difference between a hero and a criminal is sometimes complicated. Another interesting fact about Ambush at Tomahawk Gap is the balance between action and character development. While the movie includes classic Western action scenes, it also spends time showing the relationships between the characters. The tension between the men grows as they move closer to their goal. Their trust is tested, and the audience begins to wonder who can truly be believed. The film also represents the importance of location shooting in classic Western cinema. During this period, filmmakers often relied on natural landscapes to create a realistic frontier atmosphere. The wide landscapes, empty surroundings, and rugged environment helped Western movies feel larger and more adventurous. These visual elements became an important part of the identity of the genre. Director Fred F. Sears was known for creating entertaining films with strong pacing. In Ambush at Tomahawk Gap, he uses the limited setting effectively by building suspense around the characters and their dangerous situation. The movie also features a traditional Western conflict between human ambition and survival. The characters are searching for wealth, but they must also deal with threats that challenge their ability to survive. One of the reasons classic Westerns remain popular is because they often explore universal themes. Questions about loyalty, justice, friendship, and personal choices are still meaningful to audiences today. The performances of the cast help strengthen these themes. John Hodiak brings experience and seriousness to the story, while John Derek adds youthful energy to the group of characters. David Bryan and Ray Teal also contribute to the film's Western atmosphere with performances that fit the style of the era. Although Ambush at Tomahawk Gap was not considered one of Hollywood's biggest Western productions, it has gained appreciation among fans who enjoy discovering hidden gems from the golden age of cinema. Many classic movie lovers enjoy films like this because they provide a look into a different era of filmmaking when stories were built around atmosphere, character struggles, and practical action. Another fascinating point is how the movie reflects the changing style of Western films during the 1950s. Westerns were slowly becoming more complex, with characters who were not always completely good or completely bad. Instead of simple heroes and villains, filmmakers began showing people with personal conflicts and emotional struggles. Ambush at Tomahawk Gap is a good example of this transition. The characters are not just chasing treasure. They are also searching for answers about their own lives. The film's combination of mystery, adventure, and Western drama makes it an interesting title for anyone who wants to explore classic Hollywood history. Even decades after its release, the movie continues to attract viewers who appreciate traditional Western storytelling and the atmosphere of 1950s cinema. We will explore more interesting facts about the movie's legacy, its importance in classic Western cinema, the performances, and why this film continues to attract the attention of old Hollywood fans. When Ambush at Tomahawk Gap was released in 1953, Western movies were experiencing a very successful period in Hollywood. The genre was loved by audiences because it represented adventure, courage, justice, and the struggle between right and wrong. During this era, Western films were not only entertainment, they were a major part of American cinema culture. Moviegoers enjoyed watching stories set in the frontier world, where characters faced dangerous situations with determination and bravery. This film became part of that tradition by delivering the familiar elements that Western fans appreciated, including a mysterious location, hidden treasure, conflicts between characters, and the challenge of survival. One important fact about Ambush at Tomahawk Gap is that the movie focuses on characters who are not perfect heroes. The men in the story have complicated backgrounds, and their decisions are influenced by their past experiences. This made the film different from some simpler Western stories where the characters were clearly divided into heroes and villains. Instead, this movie explores the idea that people can make mistakes, suffer consequences, and still search for a better future. The character of McCord remains one of the most memorable parts of the film because his situation creates sympathy from the audience. His journey represents the struggle of someone trying to overcome an unfair past and prove his true character. The movie also shows how trust becomes extremely important when people are placed in dangerous situations. When survival is uncertain, friendships can be tested, and hidden intentions can be revealed. Another interesting element of the film is the atmosphere created by the abandoned mining town. The empty buildings and isolated surroundings add suspense and make the audience feel that danger could appear at any moment. The use of a ghost town setting was a popular choice in Western cinema because these locations naturally created mystery. They represented places where old conflicts, forgotten stories, and hidden secrets remained. The film's action sequences also reflect the style of 1950s Western filmmaking. At that time, filmmakers focused on practical action, real locations, and physical performances rather than modern special effects. This gave classic Western movies a unique feeling. The landscapes, horseback scenes, and dramatic confrontations created a realistic connection between the audience and the story. Director Fred F. Sears successfully used the elements available to him and created a movie that maintained tension from beginning to end. His experience with fast-paced productions helped the film keep a strong sense of adventure. The cast also played an important role in making the movie memorable. John Hodiak's performance brought seriousness and experience to the story. His presence helped create the dramatic tone needed for a Western about difficult choices and survival. John Derrick's appearance in the film is also interesting because he later became known for different achievements in Hollywood. His career continued beyond acting, and he became recognized as a filmmaker and photographer as well. David Bryan and Ray Teal added strong supporting performances, helping build the dangerous and unpredictable world of Tomahawk Gap. Although the movie was not among the most famous Western films ever produced, it represents an important part of Hollywood history. Many classic films become appreciated years later because they capture the style and atmosphere of their time. For fans of old Western cinema, Ambush at Tomahawk Gap offers a chance to experience the storytelling style of the early 1950s. It shows how filmmakers created suspense and excitement using simple but effective storytelling techniques. The film also reminds viewers that classic movies are not only about famous titles. Many lesser-known films contain interesting ideas, memorable performances, and unique production qualities that deserve attention. Today, Ambush at Tomahawk Gap remains a fascinating discovery for audiences who enjoy exploring forgotten Western adventures. It represents a period when Hollywood was creating countless stories about courage danger, and the search for justice. The movie's combination of mystery, action, and character drama gives it a special place among Western films from the golden age of Hollywood. For viewers who love classic cinema, this film is a reminder of how powerful a simple story can be when it is supported by strong characters and an unforgettable setting. So, this was our exploration of Ambush at Tomahawk Gap, the 1953 Western classic filled with mystery, adventure, and hidden secrets. What do you think about this classic movie? Did you enjoy learning these facts? Share your thoughts in the comments section. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe to Hollywood Cine Mysteries. Like this video, share it with other movie lovers, and stay connected for more fascinating facts, hidden stories, and mysteries from the world of cinema. Thank you for watching, and we will meet again with another incredible Hollywood story.